Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camp Patton Family Compound. It is time for the Monday Night Fireside Chat, and tonight's topic, canning pie filling. Woo! And how's everybody doing out there? Alrighty. Well, I'm sorry, I'm distracted by what's going on my YouTube where I'm playing it on YouTube. I got an ad over there, and this is the second of two ads, and this one has 28 minutes left on the stupid ad over here.
One of those ads. It's not an ad. It's a yeah.
Yeah.
They just go on and it's an infomercial.
Yeah. Sylvia Method, mindvalley.com.
Yeah. So it's an infomercial. I get those for politicians out here, the wrong ones, but yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna let that play over there and see if I can get some money's worth out of it. I might get a whole nickel.
Sylvia pays for an ad.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that they would put that ad on something that said canning. Now I could see him throwing up Superb. I could see him throwing up a ball ad. I could see him throwing up "You're not cherry."
You know what? Oh, you know I have to change my avatar depending on the topic. I just forget to do it until the show starts. I can put up bacon again if you want. I like my bacon one.
All right, let's go over here. All right. First in, of course, was Mark over an hour ago. Walt Rogers came in, then Geeky Gardens, followed by Rachel Knight, who is sleepily in attendance. Let's see, Aiden here from across the pond. Howie, Food Forest Permaculture's here. And let's see here. Lee, Cold War Prepper came in.
What's up, Lee?
YouTube AI is not that I. Yeah, it is. It's very ignorant. It's artificial ignorance.
Artificial ignorance.
Okay, I'm going to get in trouble, but you guys, you got to understand this. My younger brother was a towhead blonde. Blonde. And on one of the construction jobs that he was superintendent for, the inspector was a female inspector, and she was blonde. At lunchtime, these two would be sitting around telling blonde jokes to each other.
That's where you get the best blonde jokes from blondes.
After the third day, they brought binders and they were writing down each other's blonde jokes. All right.
I have some blonde jokes, but I don't think they're appropriate.
So for artificial ignorance one, you know what that is? That's the same thing as an artificial blonde. They bleached their hair.
Okay.
That was one of those jokes. How does a brunette become dumber? She bleaches her hair.
I was blonde until I was about 17, and then it started turning really dark. So I joke that my roots are still blonde.
Yeah. I about trying to think. I think it was about first grade. My hair went almost within 2 weeks. Went from blonde to dark brown. And it happened right over Halloween time. And my dad thought I'd sprayed my hair, and he was getting mad. And my mom was like, no, it changed. You've been working so much, you didn't see in 2 weeks, it changed from blonde to brown.
See, my wife's not an actual blonde. She's a strawberry blonde. So that's my pie. Yeah. There, I fit that one in there, okay?
All right. Before we're talking about Revenge of the Nerds and the whipped cream pie they were selling at the thing that they had there for the Greek day thing. All righty, so for this, I only got one picture, one thing actually to show here. So from this, that does look so good though. So what is your favorite pie filling? And that's it. That's all I have. Because there are just, I mean, I just started. Let me drink some water. Get that pie filling out of my mouth or out of my throat. Okay. When I looked up pie filling, take a wild guess which pie filling came up number one in Google search.
Pecan.
Apple.
Apple.
Yeah, apple. Yeah.
Yeah. Number two,
You
pie.
mean mincemeat pie didn't make the list?
No, I'm just saying this is the ones for the research to show images. Number two is cherry pie.
Yep, like me.
Then rhubarb pie.
Go rhubarb. That's my favorite.
And strawberry rhubarb pie.
Then peach pie. And then all of a sudden the rest of them were all around. Now they did not show any pictures for meat pies.
I like a good chicken pot pie.
Yeah, we can go two ways on this. We can go to the sugary sweet stuff, and then we can go to the meat stuff.
Savory or sweet. Savory or sweet.
But what's interesting is there is all right. Actually, let me see if I can bring that back up here. Let me get rid of that.
How about a chicken strawberry pot pie? So that way you get your dinner and dessert all in one.
Ew. Just ew.
Yeah, I know.
Ew.
Shift. See if I can get this to work right here. Okay, yeah, it's working right. Okay, so you can let me just see this here. I'm going to change the search here on it just a little bit, just to see what it throws up here. Oh, and blueberry pie actually made the list too. But
yeah,
if you search for canned pie filling, cherry pie, cherry, blueberry, apple, strawberry pie, apple, country cherry, blueberry, country apple, and then the images here mostly are starting out apple. There's some cherry there.
Go back up to the canned pie fillings. This is the reason I can my own pie fillings. When you buy the canned pie fillings, it's a game of try to find the cherry in the pie filling jar. Can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just colored stuff.
It's colored corn starch.
Oh, on Amazon, this is probably just not really Amish, but they just do an Amish label on it. It says Amish pie filling, apple, no sugar added.
Mm.
And then there's apple with sugar.
Fair enough. Both camps.
And blackberry pie filling.
Ooh.
Talk about a mouthful of sugar. Diabetes special. Comes
There
with a
is
side
one-
of insulin.
There is, and on the topic of blueberry, blackberry, there is one pie I will never make again.
What's that?
I will never make another mulberry pie. Because if you think blackberries are seedy, boy, those mulberries are seedy.
Never do mulberry.
Oh yeah.
Better.
You almost have to make it a blackberry pie without the whole berries. You have to run it through one of those wine
Foley.
bags. Yep.
Yeah, or a
Just
Foley
to make it
mill.
a Foley.
What's really good is
My wife wants blueberry raspberry pie.
Oh,
Seeds and all.
Ooh. That sounds good.
Man, it looks like I know what my next trick's gonna be making for.
I am fond of what they call a brambleberry pie. It's, I don't know where they get the apple and bramble, but it's apple, raspberry, blackberry, and blueberry. I don't know where they get the blueberry and brambles either, but I guess
It's
because
just whatever berries they had left laying around, they mix them all together, make a pie filling.
Yeah.
That would be grandma's fruit pie.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever we got left, that's what you're getting for dinner, dessert.
Yeah. Now, what I was surprised is that in my searching, you saw me pull up just canned pie filling stuff. They didn't have the pumpkin pie, the Libby's on the label.
Made by Libby McNeil and Libby, by the way. Don't forget my last name's on every can, even though we're not related. I wish we were.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. What Lee put up when he said coconut cream, then he said banana cream. When I was growing up, there was Mrs. Smith's frozen pies you could buy at the grocery store, and my favorite one was the lemon cream, not the lemon meringue, the lemon cream, which means it was a shallow one, and then had little shots of whipped cream all over the top of it and frozen. That was my favorite one as a little kid. So I pull that out of the freezer.
Just got on the internet. She's looking for lemon cream pie now.
Mrs. Smith's. Okay. Every now and then I will find a store that carries it, but they only have like 4 or 5 in their thing. There, it's like probably because everybody buys up and it's gone real quick. All right, hang on. More people came in. Michelle P's here, and then Our Treasured Homestead and Suzanne Galais on coming in on your channel there, Tammy.
Thank you.
And what else we got here? Checking here. White mulberry bushes are invasive here. That's Mother's Garden Club is in the house. I think Rachel said she had a bunch of mulberries coming up in her yard. Trying to keep up on the chat here, guys.
Yeah. I don't make key lime pie, but I'll make like key lime or lemon bars, which is still a pie crust on the bottom on a sheet tray, and you pour your lemon filling all over that, and you bake it in the oven, and then you make little square pies.
Now, look, with all the different types of pie fillings, I'm just wondering how many of these are ones that are not good to can for long-term storage.
I would not do the banana cream or
any of the cream pies I wouldn't do.
Well, lemon meringue. You can do lemon meringue. You can do a lemon. It is approved. It's even approved by the alphabet soup companies.
You can do the filling, just not the meringue.
Yep, just the filling.
I do that.
Sorry, my wife is chiming in from the distance here.
I felt like Red Fox there for a moment. I'm coming, Elizabeth. I'm coming.
I know it just goes against every single thing they ever always do, but then they do something like that. But yes, lemon custard or lemon curd, you can it, which then you can make a pie out of it.
You can water bath it because it's such high acid, it's off the charts.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I just did something and it's 4.6 acidity, pH of 4.6.
Jeez.
And the only reason I know that is because I just did a video on lemon juice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like the way you mentioned that you won't use any citric acid, any commercial citric acid because it's made from mold.
If I wanted to eat mold pea, I would go get an old crust of bread and at least get penicillin benefits from it. No, you're making it in a test tube and you're stirring it all up and then you're drying it out. No, thank you.
Yeah.
So I just, speaking of acid, I just realized something. So I do a lot of swimming pool testing. I have a pH test kit. And when I do like cowboy candy and that, I always have brine left over. And I know the acid level has dropped because there's extra moisture in there from the peppers. I'm going to grab my pool test kit and find out what the pH is on what's left and decide how much more vinegar I need to add. I told my wife that. She's like, oh, what a good idea. Because I just add vinegar at will and some sugar to make it taste right. And then I'll use the cowboy candy brine to can peppers, cauliflower, whatever. And I'll water bath it for a little extra time. But the things you think of and learn for yourself.
You can actually get a reusable pH meter. They use them for fermentation. I saw one for the first time. I'll get a link at some point.
Actually, I think my company has one I could just order and have. That would be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Mulberries taste a lot like blackberries.
Yes, except for the extra little protein bits from the ants.
Well, technically those aren't ants. Just saying. But
No, there's ants
I
on
always
mine.
rinse. I always rinse my mulberries like in vinegar for like a couple of cycles, a real
Right.
good squishy bath, and make sure that all of the extra protein floats to the top, and I just pretend I don't see it.
Mhm.
Mulberries
Now-
have a lot of insects,
Mhm.
so it's not
Yes.
something. It's not something if you were very kosher you could eat, because they're almost impossible to find a lot in there. But they're
Right.
in there.
Yeah.
It's sort of like eating a fig. You know you're going to get an insect,
Yeah.
but it's worth it.
Well, I guess here are some. This is for water, but I just put in reusable pH tester. Got the strips. For food. Here we go. Digital ones for food down here.
That one right there, the one you're just pointing to, is the one I saw for the first time. Somebody was using it for fermentation. I'm like, I need one of those,
Mm-hmm.
but not at that price yet.
Yeah, not at that price. There probably some other one. Oh, this price over here is a little bit more higher. You know, 20. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going
Yeah.
there.
The one in the middle there with the two probes that you put into distilled water to zero it out. Those I have. I get those from my company, and I've rarely, if ever, used it. But I know I got one. But I can always order more. We'll talk, Tammy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So they got different ones here. Yeah. Here's another one that's for food. It says the ones for food are up in the 30 and above. But yeah. Anyways, going back over here.
But there are those little pH strips you can get that you can.
Yeah.
You don't dip it in what you're eating. You just put some of what you want to eat on it. Want to clarify that.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I was thinking about with this pie filling is closely related to just canned fruit.
Yes. It just has a lot more sugar and some usually clear gel to thicken it. So it usually has some sort of thickener. I don't always put the thickener in until I make the pie. A lot of times I leave it out and then make the pie and put it in when I'm making the pie. So then I don't have to add that extra step.
Yeah. Now, my wife has been making low sugar jams,
Mm-hmm.
which would go do. You have the low sugar jams. If you have chunks of fruit, you mix together, and then add your sugar gel to it. Then you have good pie filling there. So
You actually don't put sure gel in pie filling. You put what they call clear gel.
clear gel.
It is,
Sorry, clear
it
gel.
is a modified cornstarch that is for high temperatures,
Okay.
thereby rendering it considered safe by the alphabet soup agencies.
Yeah. And Chipper 66 has come in on your side.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that for pie fillings, I mean, we just covered a whole mess of fruit and vegetable pie fillings. I mean, so rhubarb isn't really a fruit; it's a vegetable.
Well, it pairs well with strawberries or
Yeah.
custard.
So I'm just kind of wondering what other vegetable pie filling stuff people make.
I have seen people who make a green bean pie.
Yeah, you can keep that. That's not a pie. That's basically shepherd's pie and a pie crust
Without
baked
all
in
the
the
good
oven.
stuff. It's shepherd's pie
Yeah.
without all the good stuff.
Rhubarb is a vegetable, yeah, but nobody just does rhubarb by itself. It is so bitter by itself. You have to have a ton of sugar or strawberries. So you have strawberry rhubarb pie, which is a classic, but and you can can it, but I was never a rhubarb fan.
I do
just
can
thought-
rhubarb in chunks, and then I make a rhubarb custard pie.
How much sugar's in it though? Got to be a lot of sugar in that.
Well, it's eggs, sugar, milk.
Yeah, it's pretty bitter by itself. I mean, eating it like you don't exactly pick a stalk and eat it like celery. I tried that once when I was young because I was like, "Oh, rhubarb. We have strawberry rhubarb pie." I took a bite of it. I was like, "God, this is nasty." It was just it
you
dried my
like-
mouth out and
If you like sweet tarts, like sour pucker, sour patch stuff, then you might like a stalk of rhubarb. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
maybe.
Pineapple rhubarb pie.
Ooh.
Yep, got to throw that fruit in there, make it sweet.
I mean, pineapple is on
Pineapple-
itself is loaded with sugar.
No, but it's natural sugar. It's not processed sugar.
Yeah, it's natural sugar. I mean, it's
That's why I like to tell everybody: stop buying the sugar at your favorite big store that just says sugar. If it doesn't say cane sugar, it's sugar beet sugar. Sugar beets are grown underground, and they spray the crap out of them to keep the bugs off it. Sugar cane cannot be genetically modified, and it is never sprayed because bugs don't eat it. So if you're going to use anything for canning, use Domino. I mean, that's the only thing you're going to find. You might find something that says pure cane sugar. Okay. But if it just says cane sugar, it's not 100% cane sugar. And they're not going to tell you on the ingredients.
yeah.
Okay. I'll get off my soapbox now about sugar.
And I have to say I live within 30 miles of 3 sugar plants that do beet sugar. That stuff smells so bad when they make it.
Yeah, because they have to process the crap out of it and add things
You can
to it to get the sugar out of it.
Yeah, you can smell it for miles.
Yeah. That's the cheap
Okay.
sugar you buy at your big box W store.
Well, I just okay, that's new. I didn't know that. I just Googled low sugar pie filling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Wally Worlds, and
Yeah,
I
what
didn't
else?
realize that Duncan Hines had bought Comstock.
Yes.
I heard that.
Yeah, but what's if to make it low sugar, what are they putting in place of it?
Yeah.
Hit the ingredient bar there.
Right, hang on here.
Good luck with that.
Yep. There's other things in there to make it taste sweet, but it's not sugar, therefore it's good for you.
No, it's not.
Oh, you know what I mean.
No,
I was
it's
being
not.
smart ass lemon meringue pie here in the picture.
Okay, what do we got here? Now for the Wally World low sugar pie filling, apples. Oh man, it's hard to read that.
Hey, fruit is the first
Um,
ingredient. That's a good thing.
Fruit is the
Apples,
first.
water, food starch, modified corn, something. It's that's not a very good,
That's
picture
the
there of it.
sure gel. That's the sure gel. That's the thickener.
Yeah, modified food
And-
starch. Yeah.
It's such a bad picture there. I can't. Let me see if I can get the other one here to come up on it a little bit better there. Sucrose,
Yeah, there you go. That's the aspartame.
ascorbic acid, artificial color.
Yeah.
Got to make it look
Uh,
pretty to make it palatable.
That one just has for the Duncan Hines. Just has that doesn't have the
No ingredient.
That just says no sugar added.
no sugar added.
Not low sugar. Low sugar, they add something else. No sugar added, they just don't add anything. The cherries are usually a Bing cherry or something to add for the natural sweetness.
Yeah. So I'm just looking to see if they show anything else here of
Now my trick with the rhubarb is I add a gala apple, which is a super, super sweet apple. And then I don't have to add as much sugar. So I can add half as much sugar and I add a whole apple pureed. Fresh.
Yeah.
all right. I just thought of something that I had not thought of at all for this. And I'm not even sure if you can can it. Chocolate pie.
I have canned chocolate pudding. It's not something I keep on the shelf long term because it doesn't hang around long term. You can it because they can it in the stores. I have not tried to can more than just enough to last me a couple of months. So I'd have to
Chocolate
look
pudding.
into that.
Yeah, which is basically chocolate pudding pie is literally chocolate pudding in a pie shell. Maybe some extra clear gel in there to thicken it up a little more.
Yeah.
Suburban Hillbilly's in the house, and she says Dixie Crystals is cane sugar too.
Yeah, if it
Oh,
says
no.
cane sugar on it, it's cane sugar. They can't lie about that. That's the law.
No, it's got its own sweet tart flavor.
It just mixes with it. It doesn't. I mean, so if you mix it with something else, you're going to get both flavors, but the rhubarb still tastes like itself, and the strawberries or pineapple tastes like pineapple or strawberries. So, yeah, and here's what's interesting. Like I mentioned before, let's see if I can bring it up here for you guys.
If you're a pie fan, you can pretty much any fruit you want with clear gel in it, and then make a pie. Just make sure you have enough. I would suggest make a 1.5 pints or a quart of your particular pie filling, because that's about how much it's going to take to fill up a pie shell, not a pint jar. Pint jar, you'll get a short pie, which is fine.
I do the pint jars though for like when I'm going camping and I do hand pies.
Right,
So
little pies. Yeah.
Yep. So instead of I just make them in the pie iron with pie crust and a little bit of filling.
Right.
So I like to have pints for camping, and sometimes I bake hand pies, and then I just have do a bunch of different ones, so we all get our one we like. So.
Okay, I got because all right. So one thing I was looking for here, I mentioned it. We were talking about a little bit beforehand. Come on, brain, work. Brain freeze, brain freeze, brain freeze.
You can just pretend you're frozen on the screen until you think of it.
Let me see it out. What can I think of?
He froze.
The Smart and Final. Before they got bought out by U.S. Foods, a lot of their stuff was First Street. You know, you have the First Street ice cream, you have the First Street pie fillings, you have the First Street barbecue sauces and stuff like that. I can't find it listed here without going into the U.S. Foods chef store for it. But I know the last time when they opened up the U.S. Foods chef store up here in Idaho Falls, I went there and I got 2 jars of the First Street apple pie filling. They were jars, and they were stout jars too, not these little thin ones like the mayonnaise jars were before they went to plastic. I was trying to see if I could find some pictures of it. It's not coming up, but I found something interesting here. And but there's a bunch of different ones here. I'm going to go to this one here. Where is it? This one here, and open that in a separate page here. This is what I found interesting. So if you want I found this 18-pound tub of Brill diced apple filling.
Wow.
18 pounds.
You could pints a pound, so that would be 9 quarts. So you could do 1 canner load with that in quart jars and can it.
Recan it.
Yep.
Or
that's next week's video. Stop, Tammy.
I already got one.
All right. I'm gonna have to try to look into that or something, because if it's I'm gonna look at it, see what if I can do it real. See what the on the commercial stuff here, what the ingredients.
I found a picture of bacon pie. That's now my avatar. It's a breakfast pie, so it's got like eggs and stuff. You're on mute, Tammy.
I said that might be next week's video.
How to make bacon pie. It's a quiche, you know that. But you know.
Shoot. Yeah, I just hate it when they set the pictures up so small you can't read the ingredients on it. I wanted to find out if it has high fructose corn syrup in it or not.
From what, a U.S. Foods product? Just email me what you're thinking of, and I'll go on.
No, this is Brill. This is off of Amazon and some other ones too. It's all food service, Amazon, and Webster restaurants.
Webster store. Yep.
Yeah. So just trying to find out what the ingredients here is for it. But it's not telling me what the ingredients are. I'm gonna try something else here, guys. Give me a second here. Save that to. Let's see if they'll bring it up here where I can. No, even the pictures they took pictures of are blurry, so you can't read the ingredients.
Of course.
I said that tells you all you need to know right there.
Yep. You don't need to know what's in it. Just know that we told you it's good and good for you. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'll shut up now.
I got one other way here. Actually, the one from the Webstrants came out a little bit better. Okay, and let's see what we got here. I'm cheating here, folks. Okay, you're gonna love you're gonna love this tongue in cheek for the for it here. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger here. Get down here and stretch it out a bit more. There we go. Okay. Water, high fructose corn syrup, sugar, apples.
Yeah, I want to recan that. Not.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're not thinking about recanning that 18-pound tub of high fructose corn syrup.
I'd rather just recan my fake imitation cheese sauce that I know is fake and imitation with all kinds of bad stuff in it because it just tastes good.
You know, there's trades in life.
Yep.
I'm not going for the high fructose corn syrup, but I will also eat the Velveeta. Okay?
Yeah.
That's just the way I am.
Ooh, Velveeta high fructose corn syrup pie. That sounds delicious.
All right. Kathleen's on your side. And let's see. Prepper for the Ages is in now. And also coming on your side, the Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla.
Oh, hi guys.
They just came in. All right. So I was thinking this. My wife is getting into doing the low sugar, home canned jams and jellies. And we know the grandkids are going to want the apple pie filling, even if it's just on top of ice cream. And so one of the things that want to find out, and I know we're going to do some experimentation. We're going to do some experimentation, especially since she's got a Granny Smith and a Fuji apple tree there in California. And the kids will eat either one of those just as fast as you can hand them an apple.
Okay, so here's the secret to my apple pies. I go to the farmer's market and I get as many different kinds of apples as possible, so that no two apples in my pie are the same. And that gives it so many different layers of flavor. It is so good. So good. And you got to have some Granny Smith in there.
Yeah. The one thing, my wife used to make for Thanksgiving dinner down at her mom's ever since we got married. The year before we got married, we were going down to her mom's for Thanksgiving dinner. And she would make a pecan pie for her dad. And then she'd also make a regular pumpkin pie. But I don't think she's tried to make a low sugar pecan pie yet. So that would, there's a nut pie, not a fruit pie, a nut pie that you can, and I would think for the regular high sugar pecan pie filling, you can can that and be able to keep that. I'm just wondering for low sugar, since the sugar is part of the preservative of it, what changes when you go to low sugar pie fillings that you're canning?
I have done an eggless pecan pie, which was not easy. And high fructose corn syrup is the second ingredient in pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've done a one pecan pie filling video. It's not on my top 10 list of favorites, but I had a bunch of pecans given to me and I had to use them up.
Back in the 70s, pumpkin pie was great because there was sugar in it.
Yeah. Let me hang on.
I mean, you can make your own simple syrup out of cane sugar, cane sugar and water and whatever the ratio is, and make it a thick syrup and add that to your fresh pumpkin that's cooked down to death, because I won't process my own pumpkins. It's just not worth my time.
You can make your own corn syrup from sweet corn, which is then not genetically modified, which is my major concern with corn syrup.
You hope, unless you grew it yourself.
Sweet corn is not genetically modified.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm okay with sweet corn crops to make corn syrup, my own corn syrup.
Interesting here. Hang on. So looking at the Libby's canned pumpkin ingredient. One ingredient.
Pumpkin.
Squash. No, squash.
Well, here's what it says. And I know. And here's what's funny. I'm just going to point this out. So let me see. I'll just see if I can make this big. Save as. Save. Make it big. There we go. Make it big here now, so everybody can see it.
Oh, it does say pumpkin.
But then
calabaza is Spanish for pumpkin. That's why you have ingrediente, not ingredient. There's two.
Yes.
It's just a translation. Calabaza is a Spanish pumpkin, which is actually not regular pumpkin. It's its own type of pumpkin, but it's a generic Spanish term. Calabaza is a Spanish term for pumpkin.
But that's the canned pumpkin. That is not the canned pumpkin pie filling, because pumpkin pie filling is actually made with squash, spices, and sugar.
Yeah.
So what about?
So this was the Libby's pumpkin pie mix.
Nah, it's just canned pumpkin.
Yeah.
That's not pumpkin pie mix. That's just for pumpkin pie. You add your own stuff to it. So here's a fun thing I used to do way back in the day when I was cooking for very large scale people. We had sweet potatoes on the menu. Of course, we're just opening cans because I wasn't cooking my own back in the day. And I dump it in there. I was like, oh, crap, I don't have enough. What did I do? I ran and grabbed 8 number 10 cans of carrots. And I threw them in the mixer, whipped them up, mixed it to the sweet potato. Nobody knew the difference. They're like, "These sweet potatoes are great." I'm like, I didn't have the heart to tell them it was like pureed baby food carrots, but okay.
Well,
okay. Here on this can here, easy pumpkin pie mix. They're all natural one.
Yeah, no preservatives means all natural in most people's eyes.
Yeah, but it says all preservatives, no preservatives. I mean, all natural, no preservatives. pumpkin, water, sugar, salt, spices, dextrose, natural flavors.
Yeah, sugar. What kind of sugar?
Yeah, probably beet sugar.
Yep, because it's the cheapest.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. And we got to do a video on ingredients. There you go. Write that one down. Food ingredients, what's really in them. That's that. Yeah, you're just writing that one down.
If I go to do that one, I got to change my background because if we're doing the food ingredients, it's going to be Alice down the rabbit hole.
Yep.
I mean,
Okay,
we all have our own line in the sand where we're gonna die on this hill. We're not.
Yeah, except
For
my
me,
line
it's
in the sand
genetically
keeps
modified.
getting my line in the sand keeps getting wider and longer.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. My wife has made a couple times made pumpkin pie from scratch, and she did it a couple times, and then she goes, "I'm just going to buy canned pumpkin.
It's not worth the time.
Not the mix, the pumpkin."
Pumpkin is like 75% water. It's all cellulose fiber and flavor. You have to dice it, peel it, dice it, boil it, cook it down, strain it off, and keep cooking it and cooking it and cooking it to make it a thick puree without adding anything to it. And then you have to add your sugar to it anyway. It's just it's a long drawn out. That's why the big giant food libbies and that, yeah, they buy pumpkins by the ton, but they're also buying other squashes that are in the pumpkin family, like Tammy said.
Yes. Yeah. And Kaylin says the dextrose in it is a different type of processed sugar.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so there's when it comes to that. Okay, I need to switch this up here in a second because we're getting close to the end here. So there are a lot of garden pie material out there. Rhubarb, pumpkins, butternut squash, other squashes you can make pies out of, strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, boysenberries,
Sweet potato pie.
Sweet potato pie, yes.
Make butternut squash pie. You can do any kind of hard squash, winter squash.
Yeah.
You can make a pie out of it. You can make spaghetti squash pie. We did that way back when they first became a thing. It was good. I did that with I put some diced tomatoes on top of it and a little Parmesan cheese and baked it in the oven. And people were like, "Oh my God, this is so good." And what is it? I'm like, spaghetti squash pie. They're like, it was a vegetarian dish because there was no meat in it. And they're like, this is really good. And I didn't add sugar to it because it was a lunch special.
Yeah. All right. So you mentioned the mincemeat pie.
So
there's your mincemeat pie filling.
So quick thing on mincemeat pie. I'm gonna tell you right now. I loved past tense mincemeat pie at Thanksgiving dinner when I was like between the ages of 6 and 9. I didn't know what it was, and I ate it, and it was good. And then I found out what was in it, and immediately I'm like, I will never eat that crap again. And my mom
there's two kinds of mincemeat. Oh, I hate that. When I talk with my hands, all sorts of things happen on the screen. So there is the mincemeat that's made with real meat, ground meat, minced meat. And then there is a minced meat that is just fruit, like raisins.
Right.
And currants and things. So you have to be clear that you're talking about the same minced meat.
Yeah, the pie I used to like actually had meat in it because I asked my mom and my aunt way back. And it was good because it still had raisins and currants and other things, and it was sweet, but it had meat in it. And the rest of my family used to look at me like, "You like that?" I'm like, "I like it." Nobody said a word because I was like little. They didn't want to say a word. Right. And then I found out later what was really in it. I'm like, why am I eating, just the word meat in a dessert freaked me out. So from then on, I just
It's also high in tallow.
Oh yeah, that's probably why I liked it.
All right, so there's canned beef pot pie, what happened to the chicken? There was chicken pot pie up here. Here's your more other
meat.
type of meat
That's
pies
a meat
and stuff.
pie. Yeah, that's different. That's a meat pie. That's a lunch or dinner item.
There's your traditional mincemeat pies, different ones. And what's interesting, you were talking pies. Aiden was in here, and their type of meat pies over there across the pond are pretty much totally different than our meat pies here in the States. And some of the stuff that he's reviewed is like, oh man, I wish I could get to here just to try it once. And he showed some stuff years back here.
Yeah.
But there's your chicken. There's your chicken pot pies.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want any kidney pies.
No,
yeah, me
you
neither.
can keep the things that could have tasted or digested me at some point in its life. Yeah, you can keep that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tongue, stomach, kidneys, livers. Yeah, no.
British corned beef and potato pie.
Sure.
That actually doesn't sound too bad.
Corned beef hash with a pie crust.
With a pie crust.
Yeah. I mean, it to me, it almost sounds like, if they had some vegetable in there, it would be a shepherd's pie.
Yeah, throw carrots and onions in there, minced up and fried with the corned beef. It's just corned beef hash pie,
Yeah.
which I'll eat. I make corned beef hash.
And so I'm just scrolling down. So what I searched on this was canned meat pie filling ingredients, because I was looking to see what was showing some of them, and that's going some of the other regular pies and stuff. Fried meat pies. That was one of I think that was one something similar to that is what one of the things that Aiden here showed. There's another type of hand pies, savory hand pies.
Okay, I come from the land of savory hand pies. Michigan is known for their savory hand pies because all the Welsh miners came over here and the Swedish miners came over here, and the miners would take these pies down into the mines with them. They'd wrap them up real good so they'd stay warm. And so they could eat them in one hand without silverware, plates, anything like that. And I always say this wrong. Pasties. Yeah, that's what. And then they serve them with a bunch of gravy. You can dip it in gravy.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, who would think a state that's shaped like a mitten would, their national food would be hand pies.
That's so cool. All right, here's I got several other things just popped up, showing there. So you got your beef and potato pie. Over here, you got your shepherd's pie, a mixture. We usually put spinach or we put corn in the stuff that my wife learned from her parents. The potatoes on top. But you could can everything but the potato on it, and just make your instant potatoes when you go to make your shepherd's pie.
Yep.
Or you could use up those 350 pounds of canned potatoes you have in your storage unit that need to be something.
You gotta make hash browns. Just make hash browns out of them and use them up.
They won't eat potatoes anymore.
Well, in that case, you need to get somebody else down here on the stream to start freeze drying them and turn it into mashed potatoes mix.
Yeah, canned potatoes, freeze dried into mashed. The flavor changes from cooked potatoes that you mash to canned and then mashed and then freeze dried. There is a flavor difference. I'll go with that. I've done it. I've canned potatoes, and I'm like, okay, they taste like canned potatoes.
Yeah,
and
canned potatoes taste like canned potatoes.
Rachel just gave me an idea here with what we talk about. Everybody, all these other photos over here.
Yeah, Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets.
Yeah, but Hot Pockets are probably a commercialization of those.
Meat pie. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's literally all. It's literally all they are.
Hot Pockets are basically Italian meat pies.
Yeah.
and
You
ice.
throw them in a microwave for 3 minutes with that little silver sleeve thing, and
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
hear me out on this. Hear me out on this one here. Because we've done some amazing things with the Crescent roll, the Pillsbury Crescent dough.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
You could make
Yep.
take a meat pie filling and use the Crescent dough to seal it in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't wrap
phyllo
it up
dough.
and take it down to the coal mine with you though, but yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Phyllo
Yeah,
dough.
empanadas are a Spanish version of that. Yep.
Yeah. Same thing, different.
Oh wait! Hold no, my mind's going crazy here. A burrito is actually a hand meat pie.
Yeah, sure. Mexican meat pie, if you want to look at it that way, with a corn.
I'm gonna
Or
draw the line
flour.
at empanadas, and that's it.
Oh, yeah. So I know everyone was thinking about sweet pies, the apples, the cherries, the pear pies, and all the other type fruit pies and stuff. But meat pies and stuff are is another type of pie that you can the filling for. Really easy.
Yeah, just you can use flour if you're a rebel. Bless you, Tammy.
So, all right. Let me get this up here because
you can eat with some flour in it, but don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
The only problem with you have to use them within like 6 months because you can still eat them after 6 months, but the gummy texture when you put flour in your canned pie filling, and you can be the rebel that they say not to do it, and you do it anyway. I don't like the gummy texture.
Yeah.
It gets really slimy. I don't like my food to resemble slime.
It's the gluten. Maybe if you try it with pastry flour, which is a very low gluten, versus bread flour, which is high gluten, versus all purpose, which is a medium gluten. So maybe, but
I just
pastry
leave
flour won't thicken your sauce as much. So
I just leave all that out, and then
add it later.
I can add it when I make the pie, or I can just pour the apples and cinnamon juice mixture and have what is that restaurant? I can't think of it. Where they have the cinnamon apples on the side. That's very famous. Cracker Barrel. They're cinnamon apples. Yeah. My pie filling resembles Cracker Barrel cinnamon apples. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I do. I just have that. I can either make that as just a side dish and call it good and be lazy and don't pie crust.
Meat pies, when you make a meat pie, like for eating like that, it's an extraordinarily thick gravy because it can't be too loose and runny, because if it is, it just leaks out. So there's a lot of flour in a meat pie mix, depending on what meat you're using. You can mix whatever you want together, make whatever. You can make a turkey, chicken, beef, pork, pot pie, whatever.
Lamb.
It's got to be super thick so it doesn't leak out.
Mm-hmm. All right, folks. So coming up here, Tuesday on my Gray Man Prepping channel, the topic is, what is the hardest part of prepping for you? Thursday's the Midnight Ride. Friday, back here on Camp Patton Family Compound. The topic on Friday is we're getting into the garden and insecticides, and it's new uses of pesticide. I can't even pronounce it.
What is it?
Chloroquat, chloride.
Chloroquat or whatever. Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about that, and there's the EPA is going through the process right now of expanding the uses of it into the gardens.
It's safe for everything because we tested it, and you're good. Okay, well, wait. I'll wait.
No, they didn't test it. The manufacturer said, "Oh, it's generally recognized as safe." So we tested it just very little to prove that it's generally recognized as. Anyways, all right. Saturday on Gray Man Prepping. This was a request by CB at Hugo Homestead. You're in a mag now. What now? So a mutual assistance group. You're in a mag. What now? And that's before everything collapses. Next Monday, We're going to be talking about recanning bulk canned food, like that
Cheese
number 10 can right there of big beans. Recanning that.
Yeah.
Or
That'll
pineapple
be
or
fun.
whatever.
I'll bring some of my jars upstairs and show you them off.
All right, so that's what's coming up there. Now I'm just going to go over some stuff here farther out. Also items for Monday nights. Canning potatoes. Tammy's not going to like that one. We're going to talk about canners themselves, the different types of canners, what one type versus another is better.
Oh, that'll be a fun conversation.
Canning science is on it. Low sugar canning's on there. And if anybody has any other requests of canning stuff, please. And where is it here? Where is it? There we go. I froze. Email Family Compound with any suggestions for topics for canning or just regular, cooking, preparedness, homesteading, whatever. Do that, and I can get into the schedule.
Your favorite pickled vegetable.
Okay. I'm going to go here. Guys. Hang on.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Well, whatever. Yeah.
No. I follow the veteran veteran dad bod nation, whatever.
Oh yes.
Where people send him these stupid Instagram little short clip things to it, and the girls there on is going, you can pickle this, that, and other. Why can't you pickle cucumbers?
Okay.
Yeah, he did the exact same thing, Tammy. He said, look at Terry. You see, he just goes down, starts shaking his head.
If I can tomatoes, can I slice them and put them on a sandwich in 5 years? I remember those comments, Tammy. Yeah.
But so there was my thing about pickling vegetables.
All
pickle. Right. Yeah. All righty. Okay, what we got here? Cracker Barrel used to get their apples in number 10 cans, add butter, cinnamon, brown sugar. Don't know what they do now. Yeah.
Oh, I can find out.
All right, and Lee's off. Lee's going live here in a minute here. So let me see if I can throw it up here for everybody to head over there to Cold War Prepper. Give me a second here. It's coming up here. There it is. All right, here's the link to Cold War Preppers live starting in 2 minutes or 3 minutes.
What's he doing tonight?
Tonight is a continuation of Civics 101, Introduction to U.S. Government, Chapter 17.
Okay.
Domestic policies. Might be interesting to hear about domestic policies. Learn about your government. Get involved, folks. And what we got here? First time.
Dig cave, 5 goats for buttermilk, cheese milk, 50 Rhode Island Reds. Geez, that's a lot of chickens.
It's also a lot of meat, too.
Oh, yeah. Deep freshwater spring, radish seeds, lettuce seeds, squash seeds. Yep. Oh, okay. There you go, Food Forest.
Yep.
All right, folks. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Are you going live? Going to try live this week, Tammy?
No. I cannot go live Thursday. I'm working Thursday.
Okay. All right. So hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow over on Gray Man Prepping at 8 p.m. Eastern. And all right, he just kicked up live over there. So we're heading over to Cold War Prepper. See y'all later.
See ya. The bacon